Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I'm doing something new with my channel. I'm going to be doing a cell phone review. I have the new LG G4. LG was nice enough to send this to me before it even came out. And the part of the review I want to focus on is the camera, because as a content creator, as a YouTuber, and just as a phone user in general, the two most important things for me are a beautiful screen and an amazing camera. And the coolest thing about the camera is all of the options that you have with it. You have all of the options, if not more, on the G4 camera than you do on the normal DSLR. And I admit that I've done a cruel trick on you here. This is an empty box, okay? The camera that you've been watching, recording this interview with, is not the DSLR that I use for all of my other reviews. It's actually the LG G4. So how about I show you what I can do with it? Because the cool thing with the camera isn't the options that you have, it's how you use them. So I made a short montage of pictures that I've taken, slow motion, and other things with the camera.
Are you a good boy? Are you a good Sheba? Oh, look. I can pet the doggy. Yeah, you're a good boy then. You're a sweet dog. Yeah, you're a good boy.
My wife is filming today, and when I got this, the first thing I decided to do, I wanted to take a picture of the most important thing in my life, the one thing that I can't live without, and the one thing in my house that's truly beautiful, this Chipotle steak burrito.
Brad, seriously?
And I want to swap over to the DSLR so I can actually film the camera and show you what it's capable of. So as an example of the features on the phone, I'm just going to break the phone out. I'm focusing on the LG box and my Fallout guy that's been with me a couple of times that I almost died. I'll show you a few quick things. Of course, we can add grid lines. This is a pretty standard feature that phones have had for a while. It helps you line things up. Not such a big deal. A lot of phones have that. We have HDR on and off. You can hit this. The button's different. You can 16:9, 4:3, 1:1. In camera, you can do ultra high definition, which is 2K. Full high definition, actually I think that's 4K. Full high definition is 1080p. Regular HD, which is 720p, and we have a slow motion option that I will definitely be showing off later. I'm trying to keep this, we're running dual cameras here, so it's crazy. I'm trying to keep this in focus. So you've got your standard mode where you click, you point, you shoot, it auto focuses and balances. It's not a big deal. You can put it in simple mode, which I don't really, you just like click once and it does stuff. But manual mode is where the money's at. You can already see the screen changing in manual mode. It's got a 1.8 aperture lens, which is really cool. That's the focal length on it. But you can change the white balance on this. I can break this out, and I can change my white balance from very yellow. You should be able to start, and we can go all the way into crazy town here on the yellow. I can make it over the top yellow. This is something that most DSLRs would only have, or your phones would have on by default. Or if I want a very blue picture, I can just kind of make it very blue. I'm gonna try to go back to about normal. That's approximately normal, so that should work. We have manual focusing. My wife is shaking her head. See, I can't see colors, so I don't know what, oh, I forgot. I'm in manual mode, so I can't autofocus. I'll just do a manual like rack focus here, just in case you're having trouble getting the object that you wanted. Let me take this back. That's probably closer to normal, yeah. So we can also change the ISO settings on the phone. Again, this is what I would do with DSLR. I mean, you can break this ISO is essentially a type of brightness. You can make this really bright, not necessarily. You can make it pretty dark too. I think it defaults to about 150-ish ISO in this room. That looks pretty good. Shutter speed is a fun one. So shutter speed determines how much motion blur you get if you move your phone. You can see I've got some blur here. That's not just the camera, that's actual blur. I can jack my shutter speed up and you can see it's a lot smoother, but unfortunately that changes a lot of different camera settings, so I would then have to change the ISO and oh boy. Yeah, we'll just cheat. I mean, this is an easy way to do it. Don't do this at home. But you can see with the faster shutter speed, it's a much smoother image on the phone, whereas a slower shutter speed, different ISO again. We have to go back down. You'll probably notice some delay. Now, one thing in the shutter speed, if you can see these numbers, we have all the way up to 1 second, half second. I know the phone's getting really white, so I'll probably take my ISO and just put it at 0 here. It's kind of hard to fix this in particular, but we can take our shutter speed. I'll move it up to something normal so you can see. It goes up to 1/60th, 1/25th, 1/500th, 2000, 1/6000. These are action shots. Like if you're at a sports arena and somebody's jumping, they're throwing baseballs, basketballs, if you have to snap something mid-air that you want to look beautiful with no motion blur, those are the settings that you want to play with. You can also do time-lapse photography, which is really cool. I'm going to show you that later on in the video. But you can do time-lapse photography because you set your shutter speed to 30 seconds, so you can do some cool motion blurring, light smearing kind of stuff. I think it's neato. We do have a, let's see if I can get this to work. Yep, I can turn this on, so we kind of have a brightness adjust as well. Do all sorts of different things. So I know this doesn't look amazing, but these are all the same features that my DSLR has. My $600-something DSLR has these same features, and those are the ones that I've been using to film reviews. And you can, I think if I double tap this, it'll... So a lot of nice options here. I'll put it back in auto while I show you a few other things. I think that's the meat of this camera, is these nice options, how easy that is to work. You have some commands you can swipe. You can see, whoops, I almost dropped it. You can see what we're doing. What's up, guys? This is getting some pretty meta stuff here. I'm actually going to record this, so you might see it from the phone perspective. We're getting pretty meta. This is the front-facing camera. Front-facing camera is approximately half the power of the back-facing camera. Shouldn't be anything super surprising about that. We can flop it back around. I like this command. We have flash, of course. I don't know why people like using flash. There's a couple of modes. We can do dual. This is fun. See, now we can get really meta. Let me move this down here so that we can record on both the front and back-facing cameras. Let me squeeze my head down here. At the exact same time, you can see my lips move on multiple screens. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? I think it's neat. I think filming in this mode is neat. So I've shown you the features for the camera. I've shown you what's neat about it compared to a DSLR machine. So you might say to yourself, I'm not a camera enthusiast. I don't understand these settings. Why is this useful to me when I can do auto? Well, they are very useful because they allow you to take much better pictures. For example, imagine that you're a soda enthusiast. Imagine you run a soda channel, or soda's just your thing. You want to show it off on Facebook. I have a penchant for hipster sodas. I like Dublin soda. I like the orange cream the best. And if I wanted to show this off in particular, and I did in this video, show the different camera modes, I had an idea to make it glow, kind of like a Fallout one. I'm gonna do this to know what setting this needs to be on. If you put the harsh light directly behind it, it kind of blows out the camera. But if you diffuse it with another glass cup, you can put this right here, and you can make it a nice little glowing soda, which I think looks really cool. Depending on which camera settings you can use, you can do it to where the soda glows orange, and the background is a darker color, looks more like a night photo. Or what you can do is you can change the white balance in a couple of things and make the soda glow like a light whitish orange and have the entire background with different blue light to highlight the like blue orange. It's like a blue-orange color gradient, very common in action movies, gaming. It's actually one of the more popular color gradients. A lot of different things you can do with that. So I find that, yeah, I know I flash. That's just one example of what you can do with it. I've mostly reviewed what I think is the best part of the G4. I just thought it'd be good to actually get me holding it for once, which is the camera. The camera on this phone is dope. I can just see my wife cringing. She hates that word. I say it on purpose. No, the camera is really good. I like the camera on this phone. As a content creator, that's a really big thing for me. And the cool thing is the camera on this phone has about 90 or 95% of the features that my DSLR does. And a couple that it doesn't. It does slow motion, long exposure, and stuff like that, and the DSLR can't. So at the end of the day, my final review is I'm keeping this phone. I thought I was going to do it like if I didn't like it, I'd do a giveaway or something like that. I've decided to make this my primary phone. I've decided to give up my Samsung, and even though I'm locked into a stupid lease where I have to pay for it, this is ultimately a better phone, especially for traveling, for vlogging, for pictures, for all the video stuff that I do, because all I need is like a little squid grip, like a little tripod, and I can do just as much work with this phone as I can with that camera, and that's really, really cool to me. So if you're into cameras, if you're into like vlogging, pictures, if you're a content creator, or if you just like that kind of stuff, this is definitely the way to go. That's all for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. And if you're curious, this is not an LG promo, okay? This is not a paid sponsorship. You don't find links to them in the description. I've got no commission, no coupon codes, no nothing. LG literally just sent me this phone to review and told me to make a video about what I think about it, and I made a video of exactly what I think about it, and I think the camera is really cool. Drifter out.